Yo, what is. And I'm already having internet issues, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But I saw people in the chat, so I figured we'd hop in a couple minutes early and get this party started, because it's not going to be a long stream today. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. I already did a stream earlier today, so we're two in a day. We're doing 2 days now, just to celebrate this Splinterlands town hall. But let me put this out there to you guys. I want to know what you guys thought of that town hall overall. And before I jump into oh gosh, let's see. I think I'm back. All right, at least it looks like I'm back. What was I saying? So I need to re-listen to it, because I was kind of running around and it was just on in the background for like the first half, and then I was sitting down and like just trying to grab some food literally before jumping on here. So I need to re-listen to probably the entire thing, just to I don't even have any takeaways because I wasn't writing or taking any notes. I was just trying to listen enough that I could come on here and have an educated conversation with you guys, an informed conversation with you guys. I will say this though. It was, you know me, I got to keep it 100 with you guys. I got to be honest. I don't know what it was, but I came out of there not feeling as hyped. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there's still a lot of really cool stuff going on, but the two major things that stick out to me was land not happening, nothing happening until 2025. And then, Matt's still talking about getting a marketing guy, right? Like, or a marketing agency, which, October's in like 10 days. And I really thought that, again, not that maybe we'd have someone, but like they were in conversations or something, like, but he's talking about it as if it's like happening a while from now. So, like, it's just like, oh, okay. Like we're really not quite there yet. So yeah, I don't know. I came out of it feeling, I'll be honest, a little deflated. Now, that's not to say, I think there's still a lot to be excited about. But once again, here we are having to maybe temper our expectations a little bit. Don't get me wrong, the team is killing it, right? I mean, you heard the morale thing, and shout out to Investigator and Nate. I think they were just trying to be as politically neutral as possible. I mean, these guys are pushing it. These guys are pushing the limit. They love the game as much as we do, right? So I'm not trying to make any commentary on that. It was just disappointing, because I think I had a lot of high hopes. Maybe it was myself. I'm the reason, because I kind of like put some high hopes towards the end of the year. I thought we'd get something with land. I thought we get, the glamour thing is still happening. I was hoping we'd start marketing at some point in Q4, maybe not October, right? But, Fat Jimmy asked a great question right at the end. He's just like, where is new player experience at? And that doesn't sound like it's there, right? It sounds like they're actually just starting on the new player stuff. Not to say that the other stuff wasn't important for the player experience overall, but like creating a better mobile experience, doing a bunch of quality of life things. But now, and only now, at least according to Matt, this town hall and maybe a little bit last town hall, was the point about like, they're starting to like track the metrics, and Royal Eagle's going in. Royal Eagle's awesome, dude. Like he's like in Discord every day, and he's like doing stuff in the background, doing stuff with the team. But like it's just he's going in now and like finding areas in which like, hey, here's like an easy fix. Here's something that we should do. So again, it's more so just expectations, right? It's not that they're not doing the stuff. It's just we didn't know, right? It was quite opaque where new player experience was, and so I'm very glad that Fat Jimmy asked that towards the end. So at this point, even though we've heard about, the metrics and they're starting to track this stuff, they're really just in the analyzing phase, or analysis phase. There doesn't seem to be like action yet. Although the good thing that you can take away from that is the fact that there is, at least according to Matt, some of the stuff is like low hanging fruit, right? Relatively easy things to address in terms of like the stuff that, turns players off or makes them leave or, lowers retention. So, hopefully we can take something from that. But at this point in time, and especially with the conversation that we had earlier, Bjangles and People's Guild, maybe we don't see any marketing until next year. And not because it lines up with a new core set, but just because like it's not quite there yet. So let me put it this way. None of this, like, it's disappointing. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little deflated, but none of it really takes away from the core thesis for me of what is happening in crypto overall in Q4. I'm still very excited and still very bullish on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin going up can potentially carry the rest of the market. And here's the thing, at the end of the day, I've said it multiple times. I said it again earlier in the live stream, or in the earlier live stream, not this one. But, the biggest marketing is going to be a gigantic green candle. So if we can get the flywheel working, if we can get SPS back up into a 1, 2, 3 cent range, and all of a sudden your champion level players start earning some serious dough, and we start talking about it, and there's a fantastic community on X now, right? That's, just constantly engaging influencers and other players and things like that. So we start talking about that. We start talking about earnings because SPS goes up, because we can get the flywheel going with the things that are currently set in motion, right? You got your unlocks that are going on. You have your, what's that called? Your upcoming promo cards, right? And they talked about the auction promo card as well. The glamour stuff, I think they're hoping to get that out by the end of the year. And it sounds like that's going to be a massive thing for the team. And I hope it is, right? But, I don't know what the timeline for that is. My guess is it has to be sometime in November, because my thought is like December's got to be relatively quiet unless it's like early December. I feel like the last 2 Decembers, 22 and 23, they were like working late into the month because they had to. You know what I mean? Like it was like following several rounds of layoffs, and they just needed to get stuff done before the end of the year. Whereas this year, if I was mad, if I was the team, I mean, actually, even just me as a fan of the game and as a supporter of them, I would love for them to not be scrambling in December, right? For them to actually enjoy the holiday season with their family and not have it be like this crazy, stressed out rush. So my hope is that if pushing the marketing, if pushing, land to 2025 allows for them to get glamour in whatever state, right? In like at least the initial state that they have it. If they can get that out in like November of this year, that's 2 months. And we have, a couple of promo cards and some other things to keep us busy in the meantime. But that's kind of how I'm viewing between now and the end of the year. I don't know. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let me jump into the chat here. We got Merlin's Matrix, who's saying, good morning. It is actually evening for me. I got my bedtime coming up real soon. People's Guild in the house. You got Bananas here. It's night here, but morning anyway. I'm going to watch the beginning of the town hall until this starts. I missed the beginning. I was just not like, I was like only half paying attention. So I need to go back and really listen through. Lower the drawbridge. We are coming in hot. Not enjoying the monthly town halls. It's lowering engagement substantially. Bitcoin Sig, I couldn't agree more. The bi-monthly touch points were better. It sucks. I mean, it's great, but like, what am I trying to say? Today was a town hall that didn't offer as much info. Maybe I'm being too harsh because I don't mean to be, right? Like there actually was a lot of stuff discussed, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and parse through how much of it was like newer information versus stuff that we've been hearing for a bit. So I can understand like if Matt had to do that twice in a month, that'd be kind of rough. What's going on, Bolts? I mean, good morning, fellow comrades. Good to see you here. Did the guild tournament, but they forgot to include Rebellion Ghost cards for my battles? I guess not. Not that I was going to win or anything. Well, you know what? I mean, if they took them away, that's not fair. Mediocre to neutral sentiment town hall. Yeah, I'm feeling neutral. I mean, I think I went in with very inflated expectations, as you probably saw in this morning's live stream. So it's coming out a little bit like Okay, reality's hitting. Let's see what we can expect, and then we'll reassess in the morning. Banana says, yeah, it was kind of a lot of the same talking points and excuses as always. Jobby Sane says, hey. Bitcoin 6 says, the biggest takeaway is that there was a massive layoffs, only one dev for every project. Well, that massive layoff happened a year ago, and these devs have been pushing it ever since. So Bolt says, almost feels that they may shy away from the land aspect of the game, which worries me a bit, huh? I think Matt just doesn't want to make any promises, and I get it. I still think land is, I agree with him. So here's my thought on land. I still think that land is the best way to give use cases to old cards, right? It's innovative. It's new. It's something that can be done with blockchain technology versus like the analog. He always talks about the magic cards sitting in his basement, which is the same for me, right? They're in a shoebox somewhere in my parents' house. So, it's like, if you want to give utility to old cards, it's a novel idea because it hasn't been done before. But my issue is, part of the time, some like part of me feels like they bit off way more than they could chew. Like, think about how quickly they launched the wagons. Wagons would be perfect. Wagons would be perfect as a replacement for land. Why? Because they accomplish the same exact thing. You put your stuff on wagons, and then you go and you get some resources here and there, right? And blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, they sold the land, they pre-sold the land, so now they have to like give it utility. Now they have to like do something and add to it. Whereas like, if you just wanted to do stuff to give utility to old cards, just throw them on wagons, right? If they're on wagons, you can play with them, but you can't rent them out. You can't sell them. You can't you can't delegate them. They're stuck there. If in fact, I would say if the DAO wanted to get involved with this, I put out that video earlier today. So you know me, I'm just getting kind of hot on conflicts now because I'm really trying to rack my brain on how we can use the wagons to really take advantage of all the extra stuff in the ecosystem. And it's like, once these conflicts are over, if the DAO wanted to get involved, have the DAO pay for another set of like promo cards. But the only way to get these promo cards is not through buying, it's through staking things on wagons. And it could be anything, right? So it could be Alpha, Beta, Chaos Legion. Like, that would scoop up a lot of these random ass Chaos Legion packs and cards off the marketplace. Right? Like that solves your problem there. And you have an easy fix that doesn't require like years of dev work in terms of land. Like, you've built it out already. So I don't know. I mean, and again, this is not to say that I don't want to see land. I'm thinking of this as like an interim solution, right? Like, for the next, I don't know, year or 6 months or something, turn wagons and conflicts into a mini game that involves everything and offer some cards through there. But see, this is the problem. Like, and I get it, because I saw people like complaining in the chat, and they're not wrong, right? Even though they're coming in and trolling, they're not wrong, because it's just like, if all they're gonna do is create is like inflate the card supply, then like it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of terrible. So all this to say, I am excited for the glamour thing, because I really want to see how that plays out. As soon as you gamify a lot of these different elements of like actual game, right? Where it's not like, oh, I need this card because like it's going to help me win more. It's like, no, man, dude, I want this cool ass skin. And I feel like I'm one of the only few people that can get it because I own like this many land, or I'm using this much research, or blah, blah, blah. Like, when you gamify elements like that, like, that's when people will come in and they stop thinking about, what's the min max? What's the ROI? It's just like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. That's cool. I want to get it. Right? Like, let me get that. Right? Imagine like Darkest Night from like 2 years ago. It's like, nah, you know what? I want to get that. It doesn't matter. I'm not thinking about the price tag. I just want to grab it. So I hope that Glamour can provide that for many of the players in this game. I really, really do. And I think that the team is probably thinking the same. I don't know. All right, so People's Guild says the pricing conversation is frustrating. That said, the next batch of promos look legitimately must have. The skin stuff is rad. The eye candy looks cool. Yeah, oh man, I forgot the cards. There's the sneak attack with blast for 4 mana. That looked pretty good. And then Delia, I just remember Delia from the lore when I was doing like the music for it. But they said that the stats might not be finalized, so I'm gonna hold off on speculating anything there. But either way, I agree with you. The pricing see, this is what I was trying to get at, People's Guild, and I was just really echoing Clay's sentiment on your podcast, right, on TPG. We're closing in on 100 million. I think if we cross 100 million, even at this point, we're at 94. I think I just checked. I mean, if we're already at the point where Matt's going to look at that and be like, meh, we could lower the prices, or we could just make the cards a hell of a lot better. Right? So I think they got 5 shots at this, and 4 more, 4 more in the chamber. So my guess is that before they have any kind of consideration on pricing, they're going to try to make the next, batch or phase, or the next 2 phases potentially awesome, and see what the approach is like. Job, there was not another layoff. It was a layoff a year ago, but obviously we're still feeling the effects. Bitcoin 6 says, I think the reality is that the game only gets what players put in, and since players didn't buy cards, and now they have no devs for the projects they want to do. Well, they created a lot of technical debt, right? We'll call it that. There were a lot of promises made, a lot of pre-sales done that the team really had to deliver on. And so I think that they did that early on in Matt's thing, right? Like knocking out land and getting even like elements of 1.6 finally out and available. They got around to swapping out the Rebellion cards, the Soulbound cards. So there's just a lot that they were catching up on. Now, I guess what's exciting is that they are actually working on new stuff, right? This glamour thing is completely different. And land, to, not just from like an actual development standpoint, but also like literally a team member standpoint, like Cryptomancer's coming in and having to work with someone's code. Now, I don't know what that is like because I'm not a developer, but I can imagine, right? Just the parallel that I'll draw, the analog that I'll draw is like, I mean, for me, like to go in and like mix someone's session, like that would be a nightmare to have to go and like figure out like, all right, so what plugins are they using? What are they like? Okay, how are they like, arranging these sounds? What kind of stereo or spatial audio? Like, sorry, I'm just throwing out a bunch of buzzwords. But my point being, like, I can imagine it being quite difficult because I don't know what it involves essentially. So those items essentially being new, right? Land 1.7, is that what we're calling it? Land 1.7 and Glamour. I mean, that's the new stuff in the game, though, right? Like, unless we're actually going to talk about new game modes, which I don't think there's anything in the pipeline for that right now. Again, I feel like it's still like this nebulous thing that we don't quite understand. All right, Bolt says, I'd say keep it simple and look at their own TCG competition and see what they're doing that works. All right, do you have any suggestions based off of that? People's Go, sounds like a Crown and Crow song, the last 2 Decembers. Yep. Bitcoin 6 says, you can't get candles if there's no earning. They took away the earn, so the players left to other games that are yielding. So Bitcoin 6, tell me this, what Splinterlands right now? Okay, I'm sure there's actually quite a list of play to airdrop, but I'm curious if there's any games that are paying out better than in terms of play to earn. And I'm not saying that to be defensive of Splinterlands. I'm genuinely curious for myself. All right, Bolt says the game is more for people who love to extract. However, there isn't anything left on the bottom of the barrel. Gotcha. Leandra says, how's the town hall? Just got here. I think we all had maybe some high expectations going in. It was a lot of the same. I see, and I feel like I'm being a little unfair because they have knocked out a bunch of things and they've done a lot of surprise and delight. So, for example, I mean, Bejangles, we just saw that they launched the Rebellion unlock. That was cool. So like that's no longer on my 2024 bingo card because it's done already. So yeah, maybe we'll scale it back a little bit. All right, Bitcoin 6 says the thing with more town halls is yes, they have to repeat, but oftentimes it reaches new audiences and allows for answering questions. Yeah. Yeah. Going to watch Town Hall and this live tomorrow at work. Good night. All right. See you later, Leandro. Have a good one. Do you often look at the Splinterlands card lore? You know, Bolts, not as much as I should. I was doing that more when I was like writing the songs and more involved with like the music and creative stuff. But no, I haven't been looking at the lore. Is there something I should be checking out? Do you remember the original lore for Campaign Guidebook, Encyclopedia of the Splinters? No, I don't. Sorry. Now that is marketing right there. Let me know if you need the link. Yeah, sure. Send it over. I'll take a look. So, I mean, is that it? Is that all the feedback? We're all just like, nah. Okay, let's we did the critical side of things. So let's flip it around now and try to focus in on what are the potential positives here, right? What is there to look forward to? You know, they seem very hyped on glamour. I talked about that in terms of timing. I really hope that they can get that before the end of the year. Ideally sometime in November. Let's do this. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the calendar here. Sorry, you guys won't be able to see it, but so let's look at this in like kind of 2-week chunks or increments, right? So on the 24th of September, you are going to have the promo cards currently in the shop no longer available. Those will go out. Then on the 8th of October is when you will get the new promo cards. My expectation is that we might see a similar spike in DEC demand around that time. Is it going to be 100 million? I don't know. Maybe more, maybe less. All depends on how people like these cards and how much people want to, you know, participate on leaderboards. But that's in 2.5 weeks from now. That's really the only thing that I can quantify at this point, right? So you got October 8th, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next is going to be November 5th is when that third phase would begin, that third phase sale for the reward, not the reward cards, but the promo cards. So we're talking now for about like 6 weeks, 6.5 weeks. All right, over the next 6.5 weeks, that's really the only thing that I can quantify in terms of like a spike in DEC demand. And this goes all the way to November. Is that going to be enough between now and November? Oh, you know what? There is something though. Conflicts ends around the 18th of October. So the next 6 weeks, we do have some interesting things that are going on. But, you know, I don't know. I would love to see 500,000 packs, 500,000 more Rebellion packs sold. But even if we were to do that, if we get any kind of Rebellion sales, I don't think that's happening until December. I think you're going to get a lot of people who are going to be watching this number here specifically, right? Where is it? $2.2 million. Oh, see, it's already my bedtime. All right, People's Guild says we got a decent answer regarding the mini set. Wasn't impressed. Skip. I'll be campaigning for jumping straight to the next core set instead. You know, I think a lot of folks are probably feeling the same. See you later, Bolts. Thanks for sending. Let me know what you think. I just feel like Splinterlands needs that type of good versus evil theme, or someone that could cheer for, like Batman versus Joker. I will check it out. Yeah, you know, the more and more I think about it, I'm leaning. It actually has nothing to do with the mini set. The mini set is just kind of this pawn that's being thrown in the mix here. I just believe we have to rotate Chaos Legion out of Modern. Now, here's the problem, okay? Is because my expectation is that Chaos Legion was going to rotate out by June of 2025. But the way Matt's making it sound is it's either like Q2 of next year, which, you know, which is technically June, but I would pin in like April, especially if they need the funds earlier on. It's either like in April or it's like end of next year. It's like there's no middle ground. And the reason I was okay with June is because they talked about an 18-month cycle, and I think it's totally fine to have an 18-month cycle for Chaos Legion, right? For it to be in modern format that long. I wouldn't want it to be super long, but I also don't want it to be super short either. So that's why I'm looking at it now and being like, okay, well, whatever gets us a rotation in modern format by June of next year. And that at this point in time seems to be like no mini set. Ghostly BG's in the house. All right, what I found most entertaining is this version of capitalism Matt is promoting, where the goal is to sell as little products as possible, mind-boggling stuff. So wait, I'm curious then. Do you want him to send or sell more things? Because so many people complain about the team like trying to rake in profits, and then we're just like, how come the team is like running on razor thin margins? They don't have any money. It's like they're not selling anything, dude. So, yeah, my thought process here is like, at the same time, regarding this mini set, it's like if people want to buy it and they want to spend stupid amounts of money to do so, let them, right? Let them. If that's gonna lock up even more DEC in the DAO and get us back to peg and potentially ignite the flywheel, let them go, man. Let it rip. It's a struggle. It's a struggle for sure. Because the competitive nature of the game is so tied into how much money you can spend. Which is something that you don't see in other games, right? I mean, maybe. Again, the best parallel that I have is literally the game Parallel. And it's like you could free to play your way all the way to the top of the leaderboard. Granted, you're not earning anything or winning anything, but you're just there. And then you get invited to the tournaments where they're giving out $50,000 prizes. So I don't know how to remedy that outside of creating a brand new format that is all ghost cards and allows people to just come in and play the game for the fun of it. Because I would be okay with an elite game mode, like an elite ranked mode where people could earn based on not just their skill, but the amount that they earn, as long as there was like a game mode that didn't require that. People could come in and play their skill set. I mean, we don't have that now. We probably won't have that in the future, but I don't know. It's just a thought. Yeah, precisely. They're running on vapors. People's Skill says, yeah, but if that's the main purpose, why not rush CL out of Modern? That's going to be the biggest difference maker for Modern. Yeah, and Matt, okay, so Matt did say a lot of things that I liked regarding that, and it's just like, okay, look, if it's about the money, then, contract with the DAO now and commit to getting it out by April, right? Like, that's 6 months from now, roughly. I don't know how much time the team needs, but my guess is that if they were ready to get a mini set out before the end of the year, then hopefully they can turn things around and get a full core set out by April. The only thing is, it probably won't have any major innovation, right? Similar to how we got like Tactics this time around with Rebellion. That being said, a lot of these new abilities, a lot of these new things, like, I mean, that could be enough to be like innovation if they just continue adding on to stuff like that. Banana says, if the game takes off again, the whales that were able to buy up the stuff they're selling now are going to have some pretty scarce cards. So whale hate will be even higher. Yeah, like so here's the thing. People like to hate on the whales, even though the whales drive this economy. I think they like to hate on the whales because they view it as like unfair from a gaming standpoint. And I empathize with that. I understand. Like, you probably could be really awesome at this game, but if you don't have loads of cash, then you're shit out of luck, right? Which is why it'd be cool to have a game mode that was like ghost cards only. And then you could go there, play your heart out and try to be the best of the best. And, you know, then like anytime you would whine about whales, like I wouldn't take you seriously. Right. Like now when you whine about whales, I'm like, I get it. But it's kind of like what keeps the game going. Ghosty BG says, I've been saying this for I don't know how long. The competitive aspect of the game should not be affected by trying to achieve artificial scarcity by overpricing meta cards. Yeah. Man, I would love to create a new game mode, man. Or even just use the ghost cards. Like the ghost card tournaments are available now to like everybody. But my fear is that like a lot of that stuff would just become like get gamed pretty quickly, right? And like nobody talks about Battle Helper anymore, but it's always lurking in the shadows. I don't know. I think about like if we were able to like get a community stockpile of resources, aka the DAO, but like let's say outside of the DAO, like stake it either as SPS or stake it on Hive and then use those earnings as a way to like fund a new game mode or a new thing. Like, I don't know, it could be cool. Banana says, I don't hate whales for what it's worth. Yeah, neither do I. People go, so we have 20 new abilities in Rebellion already, and we still got 5 batches of promos to go. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to throw anything else in there. We should love whales, says Jobby Saints. Bitcoin 6 says tactics are just kind of stealing from landholders, though, because that functionality was somewhat sold as items and spells. Bananas agrees with you. And let's not talk about boss battles, Red X. I mean, sorry to anybody that did buy the boss battles. That sucks. I can see it. I think that there's more that they could do. Like, if I was them, see, this is where it gets so tricky because they have to like play this balancing act where it's like, I would have introduced items and spells way sooner. Just because look at how much is bottlenecked by land, right? Just by getting all those damn NFTs to work properly. And, you know, I don't know. It's like, if it was a matter of cleaning up cards, yeah, I don't know. I really think that there's an opportunity here, somewhere here, to do something with the wagons. Because I think land's going to be a while before it's going to soak up a bunch of stuff. And the thing is, land can't hold packs, right? And people like to hold packs to speculate on the future. So conflicts, in one way, shape, or form, gives them an opportunity to earn some kind of like yield on their packs, right? Put their packs to some kind of like utility. And, you know, there's a ton of Chaos Legion packs out there. There's 2 million of them. I don't know. There's got to be something in the mix, because even if land goes online, right? I mean, sorry, land is online, but even if we get like the new resources, like how many more plots are going to go online? Well, I've only seen this land DEC stake come down, right? We were over 1.5 billion. It's just slowly come down, or, you know, little by little as people realize that land is not really happening right now. So even if we were to get more stuff on land in, let's say, 4 to 6 months at the beginning of next year, like how much more DEC and how many more cards off the marketplace you think that's going to actually lock up? I don't think much. Whereas you do something cool with wagons right away, and I don't know. There's got to be something there. The wagons are the key. I'm just thinking about the wagons all day, every day now. The wagons are the key. We got to find a way to do something with them. Now, all is not lost, though. I'm still... So here's where I'm at, right? Like, I'm still quite bullish on Bitcoin. And I think if Bitcoin starts getting into price discovery mode in Q4, I think that carries SPS up with it, even just ever so slightly, right? People start thinking like, hey, bull runs back. Flywheel is not activated, but SPS starts going up. And all of a sudden people are like, wait a second, I can burn some DEC for energy and earn more of this stuff. See, the thing is, okay, help me brainstorm something here for Rebellion packs. I want more Rebellion packs to be sold, but we also can't do any kind of sale, right? That would just totally kill people that, bought in early. And that's not what I'm saying to do. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you entice people to jump into Rebellion in a way that gets people interested now and continues to reward the people that got in early. In a sense, like, I don't know. Maybe there's a mini set like do that, or it's just like there's more conflict, so you get people. No, but not really. It should be more of an incentive that DEC is so far under peg. So the packs are actually a lot less than $4. Yeah, I mean, packs are $3 right now. I mean, DEC has only been at 3/4 of a peg for a while. So packs are $3 right now. Bitcoin is 63K. The bull market is already, that's nearly as high as it was. No, I know. Well, okay, but we've been ranging in the 60s for a while. What I'm talking about is when we get to price discovery mode, right? So all of a sudden we cross 74, 75K, and people are like, oh, we don't know where it goes from here, but we're all along for the ride. Extend conflicts for all modern, reward card ownership with glint bonuses, offer cards in the rest of promos that rely completely on Rebellion cards to max synergy. There's an opportunity here. There is an opportunity here with the glamour system. And again, it's such a, I know they're working on it and it sounds like they want to get it up at the end of the year, but it still just seems nebulous, right? So similar to like NPE. But there's an opportunity to do something with conflicts there, right? Like everybody start using your wagons for something else, because once the Rebellion conflicts are done, I don't know what they have in mind, but if they're able to tie wagons into getting some cool, I don't know, cool glamour, that'd be fun. I don't know, man. You know what? I think the frustration is it was a decent town hall, but everything just feels so far away. And maybe a part of that is the fact that they have, they're working on new stuff right now. And so therefore it's probably even difficult for them to quantify how far along they are in terms of progress. But it's even more, confusing for us to be like, what? Like, okay, like this looks cool and it sounds cool and it's awesome that you want to get it up by the end of the year, but you talk about it in like different tenses, right? Where it's just like, it sounds like some stuff is done, but then it also sounds like part of it is still in idea phase. So I don't know. Maybe I just need to take a break. Been thinking about this stuff too much. Been going hard on the videos. Maybe it's time to just take a break. Jobby Saint says, burn old cards for items and spells. I mean, that would have been another fantastic... Shoot, you know what? You don't even need the wagons. You could have just had people burning old cards. Get all the extra cards that nobody likes from every set, burn them, and create and mint new cards that way. I mean, can you imagine if like every pack that's ever been sold required you to burn like an old card? kind of interesting. I mean, cards wouldn't be deflationary because there's still reward cards, and it's a 4-for-1 trade, 5-for-1 trade. But we're gonna clean up 12 million cards with Chaos Legion alone. All right, guys. Well, we're getting close to 9 p.m. here in my time zone, and I think I've talked enough about Splinterlands today for a bit. So I will re-listen to the town hall with hopefully some fresh ears in the morning. Work on a 5 biggest takeaways, but I think we talked about a lot here tonight. I'm not quite sure what the next month is going to bring outside of some new reward cards. Sorry, not reward cards, new promo cards. Actually, scratch that. The next month, if we're counting like what is this, September 19th to October 19th. We'll get the new promo cards early October. We'll get the end of conflicts sometime around this time next month. And we will be well into October by mid-October. So we'll see how things are shaping up for the rest of the crypto market. But if Bitcoin decides to make its run, could still be exciting times and cover up maybe some of the waiting that we have to do for everything else that's coming in. I don't know. You guys have any other thoughts? Any final thoughts? Otherwise, I'm going to close this out and we'll focus in on Q4, which is right around the corner. Let's see. Is there any other news? What's going on around the world today? Mainly, I'm just trying to see what's going on with Bitcoin, so we can leave on a little bit of a high note here. Nope, nothing much. Well, there's an article here on Forbes that says BlackRock reveals it's quietly preparing for a $35 trillion Federal Reserve dollar crisis, with Bitcoin predicted to spark a sudden price boom. Wow. I hope you're holding some sats, guys. Okay. Let's see. GG says RedX. People's Guild says later. Banana says now let's sleep on it and come back tomorrow with our awesome ideas. I like that. I like that approach. Merlin says cheers, except for the people for whom it is already morning, I suppose. All right, guys, let's call it a day. It's been a long one. I've done 2 streams. We had a town hall, threw some videos out there. Go chew on that for a bit. I'm going to let this sit. And, tomorrow we'll come back and hopefully Bitcoin will be a little bit higher. We'll all be at least happy about that. And then we'll figure out where we're going here in Pretoria. Have an amazing rest of your day, night, whatever time it is. I am not streaming this Sunday. I'll let you guys know right now. So I will not be live this Sunday. The next live stream will probably end up being Tuesday, unless I do like a random ad hoc to do like parallel or check out some other game, which I know I keep saying, but like I really, really want to do. But we'll say next Splinterlands live stream is next Tuesday, and we'll go from there. All right. Peace.